Hello there, I am Kyle Holden, and today for my media portfolio, I'm going to be discussing my stylistic influences for my film opening. So, I'm currently working on, going to run from my revised script, which is basically gutted out all the humour from the short, from the opening. This is mainly due to the fact that humour is subjective, and therefore, what one person might find hysterical, the examiner might not. And to avoid putting my production piece in jeopardy, I'm going to just remove the humour, and sidestep this, just to focus on creating a Lynchian sort of atmosphere to unsettle the viewer. Yeah. So my influences, I'm going to go from my influences overall, and then go to genre-specific influences afterwards. Right. So my overall influences, we're going to start with Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, fairly obvious, and I have done a blog post about him, but I really do admire, and I think has influenced me, his pop culture driven dialogue, which I have tried to emulate from time to time, especially when I've tried to write a film. I did try and write a 90s-esque crime thriller at one point. It wasn't too good, but I did try and emulate his dialogue, which I do admire, and the hyper editing style, which does come across through his films, especially Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and his screenplay adaptation that was done by Tony Scott, True Romance. Especially because this style has gone on to influence, a load of 90s directors with their crime thrillers, light-hearted crime thrillers, throughout the 90s, which I do like a lot of them, so, just going on from that. He also provided the gateway drug for me, which was Grindhouse, which opened the door to a wonderful world of exploitation and trash films, and create the whole, exploitation film, which has currently got a stranglehold on the independent horror community, which I do enjoy these films. So yeah, really influential on me, and that's the style, his hyper editing and the mise en scène song that he creates. I really like, and the fact that he takes elements from older exploitation films and stuff that he enjoyed as a kid to create a really wild ride. It's quite postmodernist, but I really like it. I mean, take for example, he did this in Pulp Fiction with the segment The Gold Watch. It starts off set in the LA underworld, and then quickly progresses to turn into a redneck Toby Hooper rape revenge-esque film, a la Deliverance. So yeah, I really do enjoy his films, and it has been an influence on me. Next up is Kevin Smith, whose 1994 film Clerks really has influenced me a lot, far too much than it should have. From the style, the grungy style, it's black and white, grimy, shot for $20,000, financed by his own selling of his comic collection. It has really, really influenced me. And I know the acting is probably atrocious to few people, but I really do like it, and the whole mise en scène of that film. Cinematography as well, because it's fairly static throughout the entire film, just captures the banality of reality, so how the mumblecore movement has tried to, capture, although they focus primarily on, improvised dialogue, whereas Smith heavily focuses on dialogue. Actors are not allowed to improvise, and I do admire that, his faith in his own dialogue. And I do like his dialogue itself. It's really, really good. Really realistic, really funny. Again, really funny. He did almost create the slacker subgenre of film with Richard Linklater with Clerks. So, and he's in his following View Askew Universe films, which I really they have influenced me, and I really do like. I mean, especially the whole comic book, crossover feel that they have, especially as characters walk from one film into the other. I really do like this, and it has influenced me to a great extent, especially in terms of writing scripts and my whole sense of humor after it. Yeah. So after that, I've got to go with the giant, which is Stanley Kubrick, who's made some very, very, very good films. I mean, tackles some very serious subjects, but yeah, I really do admire the long tracking shots, the whole use of music as well. It's not like Scorsese uses it, which almost creates like a music video like feel. But he really, when he uses it, it meshes so well with the visuals. Take for example 2001: A Space Odyssey. I mean the whole dun 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 dun. That really just like, kicks the film to a high gear, especially in the beginning. You know, when the ape uses its tool. That's wow. So yeah, I really admire Stanley Kubrick's films. So other than that, we have the Slacker film, which I already mentioned. I really do admire those films, and the '90s crime films, Tarantino knockoffs. I shouldn't, but I really like those films. The hyper editing style really does it for me, and they are pretty funny in their own way. I mean, when dark humor went mainstream, and I really do like it. So, and it has influenced me that sort of humor. So now we're going to genre specific ones. You know, the horror, which considering I am making a horror film opening. Yes. So it really depends on what you like in terms of horror films, but I like ones that you don't really know what's going on, but I do like them. And it has influenced me to a great extent, especially David Lynch's Eraserhead, shot in 1977, featuring minimalist sets, very good use of lighting, in that aspect of mise-en-scene is spot on in that film, and I really do like it. And it has influenced me to a great extent, especially with this, because when I revised it, all I could think of was doing it in Lynchian style, and yeah, that's how it's going to be, especially if I do incorporate the sort of mythical beings, not beasts, but yeah. So that has definitely influenced me, his whole style of film, especially. I mean, leaving the audience in the dark is always a lot more effective than telling them everything. It's what makes horror films so much more scarier and more effective. It's praising the audience's fear of the unknown, which I guess is why it helps someone come on to our second one, which is The Beyond, directed by Lucio Fulci, in the I think it was the late 70s, early 80s, yeah. Which this film offers no answers. It's completely incoherent. After you've seen it a few times, you sort of get the idea, but stuff happens for no reason whatsoever, and it keeps you on your toes. It is really scary, and it doesn't hold back when the gore starts. Instead of pulling away like most auteurs do, when the gore starts flashing, he zooms in. This has got him into hot water a few times, though. Especially with like New York Ripper, where he was classed as a misogynist for some of the scenes in that, which I really want to see that film, but it's currently not on cuts, and my philosophy is it's not on cuts. Wait till it is uncut, or get the uncut copy, because otherwise you're missing something, miss the power of the film. So yeah, The Beyond, it's basically about a hotel in Louis. A woman comes to renovate a hotel, and then the following 90 minutes can all be described as weird stuff starts happening. Yeah, if it lapses from sort of mystery to ultra violence. It's got a Lovecraftian theme that never lets up, especially the Book of Avon, which itself is a huge reference to Lovecraft. So yeah, The Beyond. That's an influence. Okay, we have Frank Henenlotter, who, even though I've jettisoned humour, he does balance horror and humour so effectively, and works on such a low budget. It doesn't even look low budget, apart from the odd bits of stop motion animation, especially in his debut feature, which is Basket Case, which is my favourite horror film. I describe it as a bittersweet. It is really good. I think maybe people get it. It's got a sort of attitude that might rub people up the wrong way, but I really like it, and its grimy atmosphere and sleazy New York locales. The cinematography of capturing those areas is really, really good. and I do it. But it's his, his creativity that really has influenced me. It's the whole, the whole ideas that you can actually do it. I mean, say for example, he had the idea for, Frankenhooker, one of his later films, and the fact that he actually went through, had the balls to go through with that. I mean, Jesus, wow. But yeah, I do enjoy his films. They do have some stunning visuals, really grotesque visuals, especially. I mean, at the same time, practically. I mean, take for example in Brain Damage, we have scenes wherein some really nice psychedelic scenes that are really visually inventive, and we have some really good gore scenes. I mean, for example, the sort of cold turkey train spotting, scene where stuff, basically his entire sort of brain starts coming out of his ear, which is so unnerving, but it's great. It's sort of like, it's really like something you'd see out of Naked Lunch, It's really good. And I do think that has influenced me to a great extent. We have David Cronenberg. Right, I haven't seen a lot of his filmography, but what I have seen has influenced me, especially his, techno-surrealism that was prevalent in Videodrome. That did influence the first, sort of ideas that were spinning around my head about this opening. I really wanted, to have the walls sort of split open and a sort of rebirth embryo thing come through, but unfortunately that would have taken far too much time, and the budget then working out probably would not have come out well at all. And I would have wanted to do practical effects and come at it like the Thing, how they did the Thing, the opening titles, but that would not have worked whatsoever. And given the time scale, that would have taken like half a year to perfect. And even then, it probably could have looked really bad. So, hence I had to jettison that idea. But I really did like it. Sort of, that sort of aspect of Videodrome when the summaries of the work, like the adaptation of Naked Lunch, which keeps you on your toes. You don't know what's hallucination, what isn't. That blurring of reality and real life. Well, the film's real life was really, I think, has influenced me to a great extent. And cult films in general. From everything from Repo Man to, Rocky Horror. I do like those sorts of films, and they have influenced me a lot, because it's just like, balls to the wall, anything can go. I do like bizarre films, and they have influenced me. Yeah. Yes, honourable mentions. These ones, yeah, I do like. So I wouldn't say guilty pleasures, but they're not really fine art, are they? So for this, I'm gonna go for some trauma films. I mean, this is like independent trauma films, like independent films with balls. They really go full blown out there. I mean, even the stuff they don't necessarily direct, but the stuff they co-produce or distribute, like Father's Day, The Taint, which I have here and had to import. Yeah, The Taint. They don't shy away from showing anything. They really don't. They really go full throttle, and I do admire that. And I do admire the trashy sort of neo-grindhouse aspect of Father's Day that they produced, which kind of is in the first exploitation genre. But I really do like it, and yeah, I did like the fit. Yeah, so that's all of them really. I did. Other honourable mention, I'd say Field in England. I did like that. I really did like that. The mise en scène, the editing, especially the editing, was out of this world. The trippy scenes were fantastic. So yeah, that's most of my stylistic influences. I hope I haven't bored you. And yeah, so.